Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. Recently, President Obama declared a state of emergency in Flint, Michigan. He declared the emergency because the water in Flint, Michigan is contaminated with lead. And this is because of the actions of the governor of Michigan. I'm going to read you an excerpt from an article that I saw on NPR News. It says this: the city of Flint, under state-appointed emergency management, almost bankrupt, switched their water source from Detroit, which was fresh Great Lakes water source, which we've been using for over 50 years, to the local Flint River to save money. And that local Flint River was innately more corrosive than the Great Lakes water source. And the critical corrosion inhibitor, which is mandatory for all drinking water systems to use, was not added to the water. So you had a more corrosive water source without the corrosion control added to it, going into an aging infrastructure with a lot of lead plumbing. That was a perfect storm, which led, that was a perfect storm for that lead to leach out of the pipes into the drinking water and into the bodies of children. Children are poisoned because of this decision to save a few dollars, because of this decision to switch from the Detroit water to the Flint River as a water source. So who knows what kind of damage children in Flint are going to suffer and people in Flint are going to suffer from being poisoned by this water. I'm going to read a little bit more from this article. The switch began nearly 2 years ago, and Flint has since switched back to Detroit's water source. But the damage to the pipes has already been done, and the leaching of lead into the tap water continues. And there's a question about whether or not the governor knew about this, and people were calling for his resignation. And I joined them in this call for him to resign. I joined them. Flint is a city that is 56.6% black according to the U.S. Census. It is 37.4% white. It is 3.9% Hispanic. 41.5% of the people in Flint live below the poverty level. And the median income in Flint is $24,834 a year. So what you have here is a situation where poor people, where black people are being subjected to environmental racism, environmental injustice. You have a governor who's more concerned about cutting dollars than he is about the lives of people. This is outrageous. It is insane that you have people in a so-called first class country, a first world country, living in third world type conditions where they can't even drink the tap water. The tap water is filled with lead. This is outrageous, and I hope that the people do everything in their power to force the governor of Michigan to resign. This is a prime example of people. This is a prime example of people putting profits over people. This is a prime example of people having complete disregard for the lives of black and poor people. This epitomizes everything that people talk about when they talk about oligarchies and plutocracies, where the masses of the people don't matter, and the only thing that matters is money. So I urge people to sign a petition calling for this man to resign.